Yeah, life is like a book. And some chapters are dark and some chapters are light. You might be in one of those darker chapters, but there's another one coming up.
My 18-year-old daughter, Karen, took her own life when she was a senior in high school. It seemed like of all times, this was the least likely time that would have happened. But there were things that we didn't know.
I was 14. My two best friends, they were going through depression at the time. The first one to lose their life was James. He called me before. It was really hard for me because I was afraid of people rejecting my emotions, my experiences, and just telling me to grind it out or you can do better.
Almost 10 years to the day, my brother, a good friend, passed away in our apartment in Revere. We first met back in 1994. We were doing karate together. And we ended up building a relationship from there. And then we decided, you know what, let's all just become roommates, the three of us. So it was Ray, Christian, and Melissa. So we got an apartment in Revere. And things were going well. He was working at the high school. And then he got laid off from work. One day after a Red Sox game, it replays in my memory like a horror movie, but he went out to the Red Sox game, came home that night. That was it.
Life can be tough enough as it is. And believe me, the loss of a child is a tough thing to go through. And one never gets over it, but we get through these. And every resource that we have available to us that helps us in getting through that is critical, it's vital. And for me, Samaritans is at the top of that list.
When you're feeling lonely, when the walls around you break, when you need someone to help you heal the ache within your ache.
After Christian had passed, his family quickly dove in and started researching different outlets, and they found the Samaritans. And within that same year, his family was running the Samaritans 5K in Christian's honor. They were supporting a team. The 5K has changed my life as a continued reflection that Christian was not in this alone. But if you really want to see the true force and power of the Samaritans, come on down and see the race.
I am a teacher at Miles River Middle Schools, and we partner with the Samaritans 4 times a year. They come and educate my students about suicide prevention. Many times I've heard, whoa, you talk about suicide, isn't that going to give kids ideas? And it's just the opposite that happens. It's when we talk about it and we talk about coping skills and we talk about outside resources and even in-school resources that students have, that's when change happens. That's when we can prevent something worse from happening.
Imagine those who aren't willing to overcome the stigma of the situation, and where do they go? They don't go anywhere. They sit at home and isolate, and that can be deadly.
There was one time when I was at a point where I wanted to take my life, and when I called the hotline, there was always someone at the other end listening. Whenever I was in a really bad state, I always called Samaritans. They were the ones who saved my life.
The safe place meetings that I've been to have been a forum where I could, speak when I needed to speak or listen when I needed to listen. I liken it to, coming home.
A home that welcomes you with open arms regardless. It comes out in the shape of a hug, a warm embrace, a smile.
Compassion was something I was lacking. And for me, Samaritan's compassion led to the hope that I could recover.
Every student that has sat through a Samaritan's educational lesson, it's like once the Samaritans touches your life, you become a Samaritan.
I'm really happy I made that first call.
My students talk about, how they can see that someone can get through it, so they know that there is that huge element of hope. In the end, you write your own chapters. You write your own book.